Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Kentucky Supreme Court issues a ruling on abortions here in the Commonwealth, and a bill that deals with transgender issues in schools makes some progress in the state capitol as it passes in the Senate.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Friday and it's 5:35. I'm Dakota Makris. We finally made it to the weekend. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at that forecast this morning. And Brandon, hopefully soon that rain will move out and we can all kind of just breathe a little sigh of relief.
Exactly. Like I was saying earlier in one of my shorter weathers, I know a lot of folks still probably have anxiety and even a little bit of a PTSD because of what happened back in July. And we knew that this event was not going to be like that. But when you see that water coming up, I'm sure it scared a lot of people. But thankfully, it sounds like it didn't get into any homes. But we had some people who didn't use their best judgment when it comes to driving in it. So let's talk about that a little bit later on. Let's talk about our forecast right now. You see the heavier bands of rain moving out there this morning, but still some heavy pockets up into parts of southern West Virginia and over into parts of Barton County, going into southwest Virginia, out of eastern Kentucky. Pike County still seeing a little bit of heavy rain over near Phelps. And then you see some snow trying to build in back off to the north. All those green boxes, we'll kind of break those down a little bit more, but those are river flood warnings, and there's a lot of flood advisories out there as well this morning. Too many to talk about because they just keep coming in. All right, let's take a look at Jenkins, US 119, US 23, one of our easternmost cameras, and you see the rain starting to wind down over there this morning, and we'll continue to watch that. We're looking at temperatures across the board, 30s to the west, 40s and 50s to the east, but Grundy hanging on to 54 is the last warm spot. That'll probably be dropping here before too long. 36 Hazard, 36 Williamsburg are cold spots this morning. Statewide, 33 Owensboro, 32 Carbondale. We are looking at 35 over in Paducah. We are also looking again at some 30s back out toward Lexington and Somerset. Also looking at 59 in the Tri-Cities this morning, one of our warm spots. Now, chances for rain and or snow. Now, again, it's not going to be an all-day event. I do think by later on this afternoon will turn more cloudy, and then those skies will gradually clear throughout the daytime hours. The one thing I can tell you for sure, your high temperature will be this morning, and those temperatures will drop through the rest of the day. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, the Kentucky Supreme Court has issued a ruling on abortions. Yesterday's ruling involves an injunction that tried to temporarily block Kentucky's abortion ban. Justices say the ban can remain in effect while a lawsuit against the ban plays out. That means that nothing is changing for now, and almost all abortions remain illegal in the Commonwealth.
The laws that are duly enacted that as we sit here right now are saving lives every day will continue to remain in effect. It's a reason to celebrate, but we also recognize that the battle to protect life in all cases in Kentucky and across the nation, that battle will continue.
But this decision affects the very narrow issue of the injunction and whether or not the injunction would be reinstated and whether or not we would be able then to resume abortion care in Kentucky. While we're incredibly disappointed that we cannot, there is still a legal path forward, and this fight is not over.
A lower court will now look at the facts of the case and eventually rule on the law itself. A bill that deals with transgender issues in schools passed the Kentucky State Senate yesterday. The Senate cleared the bill 29-6 that deals with pronoun usage and human sexuality. Supporters say Senate Bill 150 protects educators from having to follow certain mandates on the use of pronouns. Some minor changes were made to the bill that was passed in committee last week and now heads to the House. The Senate Judiciary Committee heard Senate Bill 9. The bill would make hazing a felony in Kentucky. For the Hazelwood family, it is a bill they believe is incredibly important. Tracy Hazelwood said her son Thomas, also known as Lofton, died as a result of hazing after he received his bid for the farmhouse fraternity at the University of Kentucky. Now she says she wants people to be held accountable for hazing. Senate Bill 9 could do just that.
We beg of you to pass this law because we don't want anybody to go through what we went through. I want everybody to think about being 3 hours away and you get that phone call.
The bill would make hazing in the first degree a Class D felony and hazing in the second degree a Class D misdemeanor. A person would be guilty if he or she intentionally or wantonly engages in an act of hazing that results in serious physical injury or death to a minor or student, and a person is guilty if someone recklessly engages in the act of hazing. Well, tickets for the upcoming spring meet at Keeneland in Lexington went on sale Tuesday. As we move closer to spring, that means we're inching closer to March Madness, but Also, days spent at the racetrack. And unfortunately for some, the Senior Director of Operations at Keeneland says select tickets have already sold out.
Our dining rooms did sell out rather quickly, but there are still tickets available. We have reserved grandstand seating available on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we still have general admission tickets available every day.
Tuesday's sale hit record numbers, making it the largest ticket sale in Keeneland history. Employees say they are ready to get back to the races and have fans fill the stands this spring. Well, just ahead this morning, the theme song from the White Lotus becomes more prominent in the clubbing scene as a remix of the song gains momentum online.
Warmth of the last few days will be a thing of the past today as the chill returns to the region, but the weekend will bring those warm temperatures right back, though. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.